Have you ever woken up and felt the air itself pressing down? Like life's piled so much on your shoulders that every step feels like wading through mud. Maybe it's the bills stacking up, the kids screaming, the job draining you dry, or that quiet ache you can't name. Whatever it is, it's heavy, suffocating, relentless. If that weight's crushing you right now, stop. This isn't just a video, it's your lifeline. When life feels like a storm that won't end, you don't have to drown in it. You can rise above it, stronger than you ever thought possible. Today, I'm giving you 3 simple, soul-shaking steps to lift yourself up when the world feels too much. Woven through stories of women who've stood in that same rain, bent, broken, breathless, until they found the courage to breathe again. At Hope4Her, we're not here to pretend it's easy. We're here to hold your hand through the dark and show you the light on the other side. Imagine this. The clouds part, the rain slows, and you stand tall. Not just surviving, but thriving, unshaken by the storm. That's not a distant dream. It's your strength waiting to break free. Stay with me, because when life feels heavy, you're not helpless. You're powerful, and these steps will prove it. Part 2. Shock. But before we dive in, let's face this head-on. Here's the raw, unfiltered truth. Over 75% of women in America say they've felt overwhelmed by life's pressures at least once in the past year. 3 out of 4. Carrying burdens so heavy they've cried in silence, faked a smile, or wondered if they'd ever feel light again. That's not just a statistic. It's a storm raging through homes, hearts, and minds right now. It's the single mom juggling rent and tears, the career woman hiding burnout behind her desk, the friend you'd never guess is breaking because she's too strong to show it. And here's the shock that'll shake you awake. Even the women you look up to, the ones who shine brightest, have been crushed by that same weight, their knees buckling under storms you'd never imagine. They didn't just weather it, they fought through it, not with superhuman power, but with real, raw steps that turned their heaviest days into their strongest. These aren't polished fairy tales, they're gritty, tear-soaked stories of women who found a way to lift themselves when life tried to bury them. If they can rise from that rain in a world where stress is louder than ever, then you, yes, you can too. We're about to walk through their journeys, not to shame your struggle, but to show you that when life feels heavy, it's not your end, it's your beginning. Let's clear those clouds together, because you're not sinking, you're about to soar. Part 3. When life feels heavy. 3 steps to lift yourself up. Step 1. Face the storm. Name your weight. Step 1 is about standing your ground when everything feels like it's crashing down. Face the storm. This isn't about ignoring the chaos or plastering a fake smile over it. It's about staring straight into the weight that's pinning you down and calling it what it is. In the US today, life's pressures are louder than ever. Rising rents in cities like Los Angeles or Atlanta, healthcare costs that hit like a punch to the gut, or the quiet dread of scrolling X and seeing everyone else seemingly thriving while you're stuck. Naming it doesn't make it vanish, but it shifts the power. That weight stops owning you the moment you own it. One raw, unfiltered truth at a time. Real story. JK Rowling. JK Rowling's storm wasn't just a bad day, it was a category 5 hurricane of despair. Divorced, raising a baby alone on welfare in the 90s, she faced a reality that mirrors what millions of Americans know. Rejection after rejection, depression so thick it felt like drowning, and a bank account that mocked her every dream. She said, "I hit rock bottom, there was no light." Poverty in the US isn't abstract, it's $20 in your account with a $50 grocery bill due. She hid it at first, thinking strength meant silence, like so many do when the landlord's calling or the job's on the line. But she flipped the script. She faced it head-on, named it, "I'm broke, I'm lost, I'm terrified." She scribbled those fears on napkins, stared them down, and said, "This isn't who I am, it's what I'm up against." That act cracked the clouds open, not instantly, but enough to start writing Harry Potter in a coffee shop, pouring her pain into a story that became her lifeline. Today, she's a billionaire, not because the storm stopped, but because she faced it. and found her fire. In 2025, with 40% of Americans reporting financial stress per recent surveys, her story isn't ancient history, it's a mirror. Your weight won't win unless you let it. Deeper insight: why it works in the US. Facing your storm isn't woo-woo, it's survival. The American hustle culture tells you to grind through it, but that's a lie when you're burned out from gig apps like DoorDash or juggling 2 minimum wage jobs in a place like Ohio, where the cost of living's creeping up. Naming it, I'm broke, I'm lonely, I'm scared of failing, cuts through the noise. Psychologists call this emotional labeling. It lowers cortisol, that stress hormone eating you alive. In a country where 1 in 5 adults faced mental health struggles last year per the CDC, this isn't optional, it's a weapon. How to do it in real life. Sit down, anywhere, your car, your couch, the park bench by the CVS. Feel that heaviness. What's it called? Is it the $200 electric bill you can't pay in Texas heat? The silence after a breakup in a 1-bedroom in Chicago? The fear your kid's school shooter drill isn't enough? Say it out loud. This is my storm. No one's listening. Your phone's off, the world's muted. Grab a dollar store notebook, write it, I'm carrying this. Don't pretty it up. Let it be messy, real, tear-stained. Then look at it and say, you don't define me, I'm facing you. Feel your chest tighten? That's not defeat, that's your power waking up. Tell one person, text a friend, I'm struggling with rent this month. In the US, where 60% of people live paycheck to paycheck, per 2024 stats, you're not alone. Start there, one truth at a time. The storm's still raging, but you're not running. You're standing, unshaken. Step 2, release the rain. Let it fall away. Step 2 is your soul's exhale. Release the rain. You've named the beast, now. Stop carrying every piece of it. This isn't about fixing your whole life overnight, it's about dropping what's too heavy to hold, piece by piece, so you can breathe again. In the US, we're wired to grip tight, control the chaos, power. Through 60-hour weeks, keep up with Instagram perfect lives. But that's a trap. Letting go isn't weakness, it's freedom. And it's how you reclaim your air in a world that's suffocating you with expectations. Real story. Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez's storm wasn't just tabloid drama. It was a brutal collision of fame, illness, and heartbreak. Lupus ravaged her body. Imagine hospital bills stacking up in a healthcare system where a single ER visit can cost $2,000 without insurance. Anxiety attacks hit while the internet judged her every move, a pressure any American scrolling X in 2025 can feel. She said, I was drowning, couldn't keep up. She gripped it all, public scrutiny, a failing body, thinking strength meant never cracking. But it shattered her until she released it. She ditched social media when likes felt like chains, canceled tours when her health screamed louder than her fans, checked into treatment when the US mental health crisis hit home. 1 in 4 women reported anxiety spikes last year. She told her team, I can't carry this, take it. Friends held her tears, doctors held her meds, fans held her hope. She said, letting go saved me, it wasn't quitting, it was choosing me. That release didn't kill the storm, it cleared her sky. Today her music's rawer, her voice stronger, because she dropped what she couldn't bear. In a nation where 70% of adults feel overwhelmed by daily demands, her Gallup, her choice is yours too. Deeper insight. Why it works in the US releasing isn't lazy, it's strategic. America's pull yourself up myth ignores reality. 13 million single parents per the census can't do it all. You're not a machine. Burnout's real, with 50% of US workers reporting it in 2024 studies. Letting go, delegating, saying no, rewires your brain. Neuroscience shows dropping stressors boosts dopamine, that feel-good chemical. In a land of endless to-dos, this is your rebellion. How to do it in real life. Shut your eyes. What's one weight you can drop? The guilt of skipping your kid's soccer game in Florida humidity. The grudge against a coworker in a toxic 9-to-5 in Seattle. Say it. I release this. I can't. Hold it. Scribble it on a Post-it. I'm letting go of this, then rip it up, trash it. Tell someone, call your sister. I need you to watch the kids tonight. Or text your boss. I can't take this shift. Feel that twist. In your gut? That's the rain falling, let it hit the ground. Sip water, $1 from Walgreens. Breathe deep, 5 slow exhales. Count 'em out. In a country where therapy costs $150 a session and wait lists stretch months, this is your free reset. You're not crumbling, you're carving space to stand taller. Step 3. Step into clear skies, reclaim your light. Step 3 lifts you out of the mud. Step into clear skies. You've faced the storm, release the excess, now grab your light back one bold move at a time. This isn't about waiting for life to hand you a win, it's about claiming it. Even when the US feels like a pressure cooker of inflation, politics, and endless news alerts. Your light's not gone, it's buried, and every step forward digs it out until you're shining again. Real story, Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama's weight wasn't just personal, it was national. Miscarriage grief stole her breath. 1 in 4 US women know that pain, per the NIH. First Lady scrutiny piled on. Every outfit, every word judged on cable news while she raised 2 girls under a microscope. She said, "I felt the weight of the world." Marriage tension stretched her thin. Public smiles hid private fights. But she didn't stay crushed. She faced it, named the grief, the pressure, then released the need to be America's perfect black woman. She leaned on Barack, her mom, her faith, not luxuries but anchors any of us can find. She wrote, "I found my light again." Mornings became hers, quiet walks in DC, journaling becoming to reclaim her voice. She led with grace, not exhaustion, because she stepped forward. Today she's a beacon, not flawless but fierce. In 2025, with 55% of Americans feeling politically drained per pew, her rise is your roadmap. Deeper insight. Why it works in the US. Stepping into light is defiance. America's always-on culture. 24/7 news, $5 gas in California, kids' tuition looming, dims you. But small wins rebuild serotonin, per psychologists, lifting your mood. In a nation where 1 in 3 women feel unseen, per 2024 polls, this is your spotlight. How to do it in real life. Stand up, feel the floor, your apartment's carpet, the Walmart parking lot. Say, "I rise today." Step outside, 5 minutes, breathe the air, even if it's smoggy in Houston. Write one hope. I'll laugh today. I'll cook tacos tonight. On your phone's notes app. Do it. Text a friend. Meet me at Dunkin'. Sip coffee. Crack a smile. In a US where 40% skip meals to save cash, per Feeding America, that $2 taco's a victory. Feel your shoulders lift? That's your sky clearing. You're not broken. You're climbing, one light at a time. Part 4. Conclusion. Ask a question. And urge action. 3 steps to lift yourself when life feels heavy. Face the storm, release the rain, step into clear skies. JK, Selena, Michelle, they didn't let the weight bury them. They turned it into wings. Life's pressures aren't your prison. They're your proving ground, and you're stronger than they are. You're not here to sink. You're here to rise, to breathe, to shine through the clouds. These women didn't wait for the storm to pass. They walked through it, and you can too. Your heaviness isn't your defeat, it's your doorway to power. Now my question, listen close. What's the heaviest thing weighing you down right now? That stress, that fear, that unspoken, what is it? Name it in the comments, let it spill out raw and real, then act tomorrow. Face it, say it out loud. Release it, drop one piece. Step forward, claim one light. Feel your heart race, your hands shake? That's not weakness, that's your strength breaking free. You might stumble, you might cry. That's the rain clearing, the sky opening. You're not alone. Subscribe if you're ready to rise with us at Hope4Her, to join a sisterhood where heavy doesn't mean hopeless. You're not beaten. What's your first step to lift yourself up?